Hey YouTube, this is Steve. This is Steve YouTube, and this is a review of this book here called 2001 Most Useful Spanish Words. Today is February 4th, 2014, and you may have seen this same book in another review I did, but that was comparing it to another book, and I'm basically doing the reverse today. So you may have seen this book online or your local bookstore. And you may have said to yourself, wow, for $5, you know, that's pretty cheap. Maybe it's a waste of money. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that it's not. In fact, this is one of my most favorite books I have. I'm going to put a link below this video, which will take you over to Amazon.com, where you can get this book, where I bought it for the cheap price. I think it was $5 or $4 or it's either $5 or $4. I forget it, but it has, I think it had free shipping or something, so that'll save you a trip to the local store. So yeah, I'll put that link below this video so you can get that immediately. Be sure you click like on my videos and also click subscribe. And at any time, feel free to share this with your friends on Facebook so that they can. There's lots of people that are always studying Spanish or languages in general. So this book here is by Dover Language. It's called 2001 Most Useful Spanish Words, and it's written by Garcia Loaiza. And I like this book a lot. In fact, I have one of these in German that I'm going to review in one of my next videos. So let's open it up and see what's going on here. The author is a PhD, which means nothing in the world of language acquisition, because you don't have to have a doctorate degree to learn a language. You can be a kid in kindergarten. I want to point out this is from 2010, so it's very recent. Once you go back into the 1990s, then you'll see stuff about like VHS tapes rather than DVDs in these books. But other than that, everything's still the same. Once you go back to the 1950s and 60s, then some of the slang changes and stuff. So you can see for yourself what the contents of the book has. The categories. Go ahead and pause the video at any time to see this. I'm not going to show you the whole book because I want you to go out and buy this, and this author worked hard on this, alright? So I want him to get at least $1 from his writing of the book. So there's information on different dialects around the world in Spanish. As you can see, the pronunciation guide, how to pronounce the vowels, consonants, and then right after that it has stress and written accents. And then it has all the words, all the 2001 words in this book, alphabetically. I'll skip a couple pages at a time. Look at the page numbers here. So I want you to understand that I'm skipping lots at a time here. This book has all the most important words you need to be fluent in a language. You can have any conversation you want in Spanish after you learn these 2001 words. In order to have a conversation with anyone in a foreign language, you need 1,000 words to have a 95% or whatever, or 90% communication skills. Once you hit 2,000, you're basically 98, 99%. And then there's an extra 1,000 to speak about specifics, things that you rarely ever need to talk about, like what's a word we never use daily? I don't know. There's a lot of words we use all the time. What's a really rare word? Say that 5 times fast. I can't think of any, but for example, the word analgesic. Well, that's a word for painkiller in the medical field. And in Spanish, it's actually analgesica or analgesica. Probably, I'm guessing there, but I'm probably correct because it sounds Latin. Anyway, but you don't need to learn that. You can learn the word for pain pill instead. okay, because that's a lot easier. But if you once you go up into the 3000s, you pick up those extra 1,000 words. But as I said, to have a conversation with someone at 98% ability, this is all you need. This book right here, okay? And if anyone below this video writes, "Have you heard of Assamil method?" I'm going to say yes, but that's not what we're talking about here. So everyone knows the Assamil method. It's ASSIMIL or something like that. It's a method to learn the grammar and vocabulary at the same time of a language. That's not what we're doing here. I'm only doing vocabulary acquisition in this review. Right? That's all this book does. If you want to learn grammar, there's other ways to learn the grammar. And yes, Assamil is amazing to learn grammar. But we're just doing vocabulary here, okay? A lot of us already have grammar taken care of. We just want to increase our vocabulary amount. All right, so let's go back to this book. Page 73, page 127. This has awesome amounts of, it has 2001 words. You're actually getting more than 2001 words. For example, if you learn the word diplomat, which is diplomatico, that is a masculine diplomat. But after you learn diplomatico, all you gotta do is change the extension to an A, and you have the female version, diplomática. Like, ella es diplomática. Él es diplomático. And we change it from masculine to feminine, and now we have 2002 words. You know, just as it goes, like when you learn in here the numbers, you'll learn, for example, 1 through 20, but then they teach you 21, 22. They're not going to teach you 23 and 24, 25, because all you do is take the number 2, 3, and 4 you already learned and attach it to the word 20. So they don't, but if after you understand how to do that, this book gives you like 2,200 words. And my examples will keep on growing after you listen to this. So after we go to the end here of Z, I want you to keep track here because I'm going to compare this to another book in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 Z words. That's because Z words aren't very popular. If I remember correctly, any word that begins with Y is from another language. And Z words in general are just very rare. So this book has 6 Z words. But if you look at the P's, the P words, it starts here at paciente, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes. These are all the P words, because P words are very popular in Romance languages, including English. So they're going to list all the popular words. So this book has the 2001 most frequently used words, and it ends right there in puro. And again, puro, pura. You just gave yourself an extra free word, all right, in this book. So you can add an extra number to that over here. So let's go to Z, and I'll show you what the next section the book has. This book is really cool. I'll show you why. Not only does this book have all the words you need to be fluent in a language, but it has them separated into categories as well. Now let's talk about the word fluent. Fluent doesn't mean you speak like a native. It doesn't mean that if you started speaking Mexican dialect or Mexican pronunciation, it doesn't mean that someone will be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't tell if he's Mexican or not." It does not mean that. That is called speaking like a native. The word fluent means you're able to just talk exactly how I'm talking right now in English, without pausing or hesitating too much. And all the words come to your tongue without thinking too much. That's what fluent means. It's like water. Water's very fluid. Water's very fluid, and water doesn't abruptly stop and then start going again. No, it's always moving, nice and water-like, liquid, very fluid-like, very fluently-like. Right? That's where the word comes from, in that aspect. So if you're able to speak Spanish or any language without pause or thinking too much, and you have basically 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 words, you're going to be speaking fluently. Actually, you can speak fluent Spanish with 100 words, as long as you don't need any other words past those 100. But, yeah, the more words you know, the more fluent you can be without hesitating. Now, these are I'm not going to read these. You can read the categories yourself, okay? I'm going to block a lot of them off so you can't get this book for free. I want you to buy the book. But you can see the categories there. Clothes, colors, family, food. Look at all that food. Lots of food, pages and pages of food, because food's very important. It's part of your daily life. Look at all that food. Look at all that food. It's all English. All that. Here's all meats and seafood separated. And I'm not going to show you the rest of the words here. I want you to buy the book. The author worked hard on this, and so the publisher for selling it to you for only $5. Then it has other items like sugar and cereal, and has spices and corn and lard. And it has pages and pages. Then it has meals like breakfast and lunch, health stuff like painkiller. How do you say painkiller? Calmante, which means to calm oneself, to be calm. Calma, calmar, calmante. That's how I say painkiller. And that's actually under health. I'll show you the health part. These are the words you're going to learn in health. Look at all them. I'm going to turn the page because there's probably more. Oh yes, look at all these health words you're going to learn. These are all things you need to know, especially living. Let's say you're out and about and you're like, oh my gosh, I think I'm having a heart attack. How the hell you say that in Spanish? You better know, because you're going to die in a few minutes if you don't get help. And it's actually the word that we use in the hospital. Oh, I'm a nurse, by the way. That's my day job. I'm a nurse. My night job is I study stuff like foreign languages. So in the hospital, we say infarction. This person's having an infarction. And the word for heart attack in Spanish is infarto. Infarto. And that's, let's see if I can zoom in on that one word. There it is right there. I-N-F-A-R-T-O. I'm trying to zoom in. There it is. Infarto. You might see infarcción. Perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. Because in Portuguese it's infarção. Infarção. Sorry, infarção would be Portuguese. So if they're using the são extension, then you might see it in Spanish with sion. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just only infarto in Spanish. Then it goes on to all these words over here. Look at all these words. It'd be nice if you could see them, right? Let me zoom. Let me focus. There we go. A lot of words. It's all about your health. Oh, what's on the next page? Next page is numbers. It teaches you all the numbers you need to know. 0 through 20. Then it has 21, 22, 30, 31, 32, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 101, 102, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's all they tell you because you can just mix and match the previous numbers 1 through 20 to make any number you want. So if you could do that, then you automatically just gave yourself 6,001 words, basically. It has all the sports in the world here, the names of them, any store that you would need traveling, all the times of the day, days of the week, months, seasons. And then after that, it goes into Spanish grammar, tips and cognates. English is 66% cognates of Spanish. Why? Because English is 3 languages put together. English is basically Germanic, so it sounds a little bit like German. It's 33% Germanic. It's 33% French, because the French colonized Britain a long time ago, and almost annihilated the Germanic form of English language. It also is 33% Latin. And since Latin and French are basically the same, you have 66%. Basically 66% Romance, which is very, very basically Spanish. So English is 66% Spanish. this is all approximates, because then you have like 1% borrowed words like sushi. Sushi, that's a Japanese word. Yeah, so it's more or less 66%. English is more or less 66% Romance. So you already know about 66% of the vocabulary words in this book. You just don't know it yet. And they're basically called cognates. Alright, and then it goes into gender, number, and agreement. This is all the grammar part. Pronouns. Then it has verb conjugation, like how to, the word hablar, which means to talk. It would be hablo. Hablo, that means I speak. The preterite is another way of saying past tense. Hablé. Hablé, that's I spoke. Hablaba, that is like I have spoken before my lifetime. That would be hablaba. I'm going to speak tomorrow. Sorry. That's totally different. I will speak tomorrow. I will speak is hablaré. Then it has conditional, which we use quite often, but you don't realize it. Hablaría. And then subjunctive, which is a pain in the butt. Hablé and hablara. And it has all of them. I am talking, hablando. I talked, hablado. Then it has all of them in all of them. Like, hablo is I speak, hablas is you speak, my friend. Habla is you speak, Mr. President. Hablamos, we speak. Habláis, which is the form that we never use in Central and South America, but you do use it in Spain, and I think you also use it in Argentina. The what is it? Not vocês, that's Portuguese. Whatever. It's the form that we never use. This form here. And hablan. This means they speak. Then it give you, that's an AR extension verb. The hablar just happens for no reason whatsoever to end in AR, always. And the word to eat always ends in ER for no reason whatsoever. There's no rhyme or reason. It just, this verb happens to end in ER. And then there's verbs that happen to end for no reason whatsoever, but they happen to end in IR. And there's different ways to conjugate them. Like, you speak, my friend, is hablas. You eat, my friend, is comes. Instead of using, like this uses AS, and this one uses ES. This ends in AR, it ends in ER. And then IR, you would also use ES, just like you would use ES in this one. So these two are basically the same way to conjugate all the way down, but the ARs are a different way to conjugate. But like, for example, like 33% of verbs end in AR, another 30% in an ER, another 33% in an IR. All you gotta do is learn how to conjugate one word in each, and then you can conjugate all the verbs in Spanish, more or less. But this book is all vocabulary, but they do give you some quick reminders on how to conjugate, just for the love of it. Verbs, tenses, and moods. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you the information, but that's what they're going to talk about there. The preterite and imperfect, when you use it, they give you lots of examples. Subjunctive mood. You can read it down there. Let me focus that. Let me turn the page. More information on the previous page. Informal commands, prepositions. It's hard, and I don't want you to get the book for free. Oh no! Alright, can you read that? You can pause that. Turn the page. And then that's the last page. You can read that for fun. And these are all the words. I mean, these are all the books that this company, Dover, this publisher publishes really tiny, cheap books, always. And they're always really darn good. I always love Dover books. ABC of Ballet. And here's the ISBN number if you want to buy it. The pages and how big it is. The books are always really small. As you can see, this book is the size of my hand. There's a lot of books here. This is just some of the books that Dover publishes. The Count of Monte Cristo. This is just, you know, them advertising other books they sell. Why not? So, that's the book. Now, you might be saying, awesome, I should buy that right now, and I think you should. Do it. Click that link below the video and go buy it. But I want to compare it to this other book here. 1001 Most Useful Spanish Words. Again, it's by the same author and by the same publisher, Dover. But the price is $2.50 on this book, and the price is $5 on this one. Do you get anything extra with this book? No. This book literally has half the stuff of this book. This book has exactly half the verbs. In this book, I showed you there's 6 words in the alphabetical section under Z or Z. Over here, there's exactly 3 words. So they literally double the frequency of the words. If you know this, you can get by on vacation or for emergencies with 1001 words. To have a conversation with someone and to have fun and to enjoy the culture, you want this one here. You want 2001 words. So I highly recommend this book over this book. Now, if you're just started off in Spanish and you don't want to scare the crap out of yourself, go ahead and buy this book here. I'll put the link below the video for you also for this one. This will make it seem not as scary, not as crazy of a language to learn. But because I have learned other languages, or I have been studying foreign languages my whole life, I would automatically buy this one because I'm a language learner. That's all I do in my free time is I study foreign languages. If I show you my table over here, I got books on German, Russian, German, Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic, Hebrew, all around me. Look, I got this books and books and books. These are all written in foreign languages. Mazo di la Roque. These are just, I'm just obsessed with languages. So, what I mean is, if you're new to learning Spanish, get this one. It's $2.50. Then when you're ready to learn more, just get this one because then you spend, it's only $5, okay? And then you can always, then this one becomes basically worthless, and you can give it to a friend that's learning Spanish. All right. But it's only $2.50 for this one, and this one's $5. And so if I show you this one here, I'll compare this one. This much of the book is alphabetical. All this right here is alphabetical, A to Z, of 1001 words. And then only this little portion over here is grammar. Actually, it's not grammar at all. It's just categories. The family, the time, the body. It has all the same words. Like this book has half the categories as this one. This one will have all the colors. This one has all the colors. This has all the family members. This one has all the family members. But this one does not talk about the human body, for example. But this one does. So I don't want you to be confused. I want you to understand that if this one talks about the colors, if this one has category colors, it's not going to give you half the colors. It's going to give you all the colors. Just like this one does. But this one doesn't have the category called health, but this one does. That's an example. This one probably does have the health category, but it's not going. This one does not give you half of the words in the health category. For example, it gives you all the words. It's not going to. It's not going to make you. It's not going to. What's that word? It's not going to scam you, S-C-A-M. It's not going to scam you out of words, okay? If it has a category, it's going to list them all in that category. So, again, if you're new to Spanish, get this one. If you already have a little Spanish on your belt and you're not afraid of the language anymore, get this one. This book will do you good for all of your Spanish learning. From elementary Spanish 1, elementary Spanish 2. From intermediate Spanish 1 to intermediate Spanish 2. And it might do you good as well into high or advanced Spanish 1 and high or advanced Spanish 2. All right? So that's how I recommend them. Again, I believe in not scaring the crap out of students. If you're new to Spanish, get this one. If you know the word hola, and if you say hola and roja for red, then you need this one. If your pronunciation is really bad, that's how I know that you're new to Spanish. You know, if you know how to say hola and roja and azul, then you should still get this one because you probably don't know all the other words in here, and you're probably still scared to death of the language. You probably still think learning a foreign language is hard. I'm telling you, my friends, learning a foreign language is a piece of cake. You just gotta tell yourself it's not scary, and tell yourself it's easy, and you'll learn it so much faster. If you're comfortable with Spanish and pronunciation, and you're not afraid of the language, get this one, okay? So with that said, I'm going to put links below the video to where you can buy both of these same books on Amazon. The link will take you right to Amazon, to the same place where I got these same books. It's the best price on the whole internet. Click like to like my video. Click subscribe to get more reviews of everything from electronics to foreign language stuff to tips and tricks in life. And my videos are always long and in-depth because I want you to get the best bang for the buck and not to waste your money. I also want you to know what you're getting yourself into before you spend any bit of your money. Even if before you spend $2.50, I want you to know what you're getting yourself into. Also, share these videos with all of your friends that are currently learning languages or love languages, or who are currently about to think about going traveling in a country that speaks Spanish, for example. Also, check out my other videos. Go ahead and click, after you click like, after you click subscribe, after you share this video, and after you click the links below my video to go buy these over at Amazon, check out my other videos, because I talk about other languages. I also talk about lots of other cool stuff you might find interesting, or someone else might find interesting as well. I just want to help the world out. That's all I want to do here. So with that said, this is my review of this book. 2001 Most Useful Spanish Words, and I say buy it right now. You will not regret it because it's only $5 US. All right? Again, today is February 4th, 2014, and have a great day. And never give up on your languages, okay? All right, bye-bye now.